Hi everyone, this is Tony Katimi from crohnsstore.com. With pleasure, I have on the phone a very dear special friend of mine, Lynnea Bylund.
You should be able to get your pH balance flat. There's other, out there in the market, there's other things that you can put into water, and you drink the water, and that can help keep the body, like this water I was talking to you about, the ionized alkaline water. That kind of water, drinking 8 glasses of that will also help to keep your pH balance. pH is balanced in the body. It's good to have one of those pH, those things that you lick, and it tells you what your pH are.
Yeah, the tapes. Yeah, I have those tapes. Actually, I have it on my site as well. I'm going to leave the link here so people can see. How often do you use the tape?
Every day.
You use it every day?
Every day, because based on what you eat changes the pH balance in your body.
So based on the pH, then you can choose the foods that basically increase your pH back to norm, which is in the 7 neighborhood, 7x.
And that's right, and then the inflammation will go down.
And whatever it is that you're, it's happening inside your body, most likely will stop or slow down. So if you're prone to cancer or any kind of disease, if your pH in your body is over 7 and it's not acidic, it's going to slow down that process. There's no cure, but it's going to slow it down.
That's right.
Okay.
It's I'll give you an example. My father was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And prostate cancer, there's 4 stages of it. The first stage is the most benign, and once you get into the 4th stage, that's when it's terminal. Well, another good friend of mine who's a leading expert on this in the health arena, I called him when my father was diagnosed. And my dad came to me first and asked me before he decided on his treatment that the allopathics were presenting to him. So Josh sent me into some very interesting directions. One was left.org. It's a group that actually works with alternative doctors and medical doctors, and if somebody chooses to go allopathic treatment, there's things that you can do holistically. It is the 2 groups coming together to work together to treat chronic disease. And with left.org, they had a formula of product, and then there was a dietary practice that recommended a lot of tomato juice, for instance. And my dad had to cut out. He liked to have a cocktail. He had to cut out his cocktail. He stopped smoking. He had to start exercising, water, diet, and this vitamin formula. Well, he did it. He did it for 30 days. And in 30 days of his practice, he brought his PSA. He was diagnosed like 5.6 PSA count, which is really high. And over the 30 days of a right diet, he brought his PSA count down to 2.8, which was substantial. It was substantial enough to stop the growth of the cancer.
Okay, that's the key. That's the key. When you're able to give your body the nutrients that it needs, and from natural sources, you're able to heal your body naturally. You're able to reverse anything that's going on inside of body. That's decaying the cells or destroying the cells or causing the disease. That's what you're saying.
Well, I mean, you got to be really careful, out there, and foods and alternatives are a path that should be lived day to day. It's not something that if somebody's got an illness, I'm going to do this until I get better and then go back to my good ways of living.
Exactly.
Right. It's a new way of living. And when you start living and practicing, it might be difficult in the beginning because your body's detoxing. But then after you start practicing this way, over a period of time, you will be amazed at how good you feel. It's incredible. I want to just give another good passage in another favorite book. I know I talked to you about it a lot, and it's there, Not To Is Peace. And there's a sentence in there that says the current situation in the world is that everybody wants to live the good life and be super consumers. And that is not possible. The earth world cannot sustain it. It's the same thing for our body. You know, you can't, your body can't, if you keep consuming and consuming all the wrong stuff, your body can't sustain that. It's a no-win situation.
I know you have some expertise in this area, so let me kind of revert and change the conversation just a tad, because we're talking about health and trying to, this is an information line, so we're giving people information about different options and also healthy options. So let's talk about cleansing, because you know a lot about cleansing, detoxifying and cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, a lot of detoxification and cleansing. I still practice fasting.
Fasting. How about, do you know anything about lemon cleansing? Lemon cleanse?
That's part of it. It's I've heard it's Cosmo Cocktail. It's called the Miracle Diet, I think they call it. Dr. Gonzalez, a very, very amazing doctor, MD out of New York, is doing some of the most bleeding work with patients who have cancer. And this is one of the things that he recommends. But I'm a firm believer in juice fasting.
What about juice detox?
Yeah, it's a combination. Here's what I'm an advocate of.
How many days?
Well, to start, the maximum I've gone is 15 days, but that's after being a real experienced faster. I would say a good fast, for somebody that's first starting out, you might go like this 5 days. And the very first day is a day, or maybe 2 days if it's your first time. It's just a raw diet. And you're just eating raw fruits and raw vegetables. And then the third day you'd need a juicer. And you would juice vegetable juices. Like one of my favorites is carrot, celery, beet, arugula, and garlic. I'm telling you,
I take that at that store, the Mothers. I frequent there. That's one of the drinks I get.
The thing that gives that drink a kick is the garlic and arugula in it.
Yeah.
And so, I would maybe put a half of that or a quarter of that in a glass, and the rest would be water. I'd dilute it with water. So I'd drink 3 of those a day, morning, noon, and night. That's the main meal. I'd have that lemon drink together with it all day long, which is water, lemon, honey, cayenne, and a little maple syrup, a tablespoon of that. And I drink that all day long. And then the other thing that I do when I'm fasting is which helps sustain the fast, is I get spirulina tabs, and I suck on the spirulina, the microplankton algae, which has a very close chemical structure to the blood. And, after the first few days are difficult, but then after you get into it, you really can get into the zone. And I mean, it's amazing. I feel like I have more energy than anything. And now here's the other thing. After 15 days of fasting, I also do enemas and colonics during that period of time. And, when you see that there's still stuff coming out of your colon when you haven't put any food in your colon for 2 weeks, that wakes you up big time.
Go ahead.
It's
Sorry.
important to fast every year. We go in. Part of my spiritual practice is that after January into February, we get into fasting, and we do it. We go as long as we can fast, and then it becomes a raw diet, and we raw diet through October, and then we have a little break during the holidays. We don't go overboard, but during the holidays you can partake. And then back in the cycle again. So the majority of the year, you're eating right spot on.
So this fasting also can weight loss.
Yeah, you do.